Welcome to another episode of Pointless Discourse for myself, Hoppocalypse and DPayne.
Already, I don't have the paper up. There we go. Ah. Let's see. Where did we leave off last? Oh, this paper didn't save. Let's see. This. Oh yeah, we did that one. So I can't remember if we did this one. I'll do this one. Guten Dagen, or hallo, or hi, which are all ways to say good day, hello, and hi in Icelandic. Guten Dagen.
But yeah, so in this podcast, we talk about things that usually you get to vote for in the community, but we are doing our spree of holiday episodes. So this is our New Year's episode where we'll kind of be covering, so not quite New Year's traditions, but things to do on New Year's.
Yeah.
And DPayne discovered a special format for us this week because we like to change things all the time on you guys.
Yeah. So I don't even know how we found this. I think when we were throwing around ideas for Christmas and New Year's, I think I just typed in things to do on New Year's. And this person wrote an article. I'm not sure if I want to put them on blast. Because it's like they are giving us free content, but it was pretty much 15 festive quarantine ideas to bring in 2021. That's kind of a synopsis of their title. I don't know. Should we let them know if they want to read the article themselves?
I guess if they are interested in it, we could always leave it in the description. We don't have to Yeah.
Like, here's the reason I'm a little bit hesitant, and this is what I've been thinking about like for the past 2-3 weeks since we brought up this idea, is that like this is going to be a very different episode where we are looking at an article and then in short making fun of it.
Yeah.
Where, like, in full transparency, I wouldn't be able to write an article for this website that
I think it's a magazine.
Yeah, when I was like clicking the thing, and I think my mom used to like. That movie's like years old. What is this?
Yeah, I feel like I've seen this magazine at like the hairdresser or a doctor's office.
Mm-hmm. My mom's house.
But yeah, I mean, like, this is more just, in jest and commentary. We're not meaning to attack the author. Because it's just,
Says
sometimes
you.
Whoa, no, because sometimes like you see things. I know I've shared with DPayne some of my favorite commentary YouTubers where you watch it and you agree it's uncomfortable, but it's not.
Her dad.
I love this song. But yeah, it's it's stuck in your head now, isn't it?
I don't know the song that well. I'm just still remembering like, wait, did you turn my bully into a vampire? And now he's immortal as well? No!
Because sometimes people put things on the internet and it's brave of them. We put things on the internet and we know that we're not always like perfect content. But it's
talking about this is the best content.
But it's just sometimes you look at it and you go, did the person think twice before putting this on the internet? And we all get to talk about it.
Before we really jump into it, I know, like, since it's a different kind of style, like, we're not really going to roll roll d20s to find who's going first. So maybe we can roll d20s to find out, like, the second half of show that we were talking about. Maybe who can go first for that.
Yeah, that sounds good.
But I also thought it'd be funny, since, for people who don't know, we're recording this before Christmas as well, so that way we weren't struggling, like, during the Christmas, like, at least weekend to like record an episode and get it out.
Mm-hmm.
So do we want to roll to find out how good our Christmas is preemptively?
I feel like I'm gonna roll really low. Let's just roll a d20 for fun to determine how much fun we'll have over the holidays. Oh no, I'm not having fun.
Wait a second, that's a D12. Get out of here. I rolled a 12 on it, though.
You crit.
Ooh. I got a 19.
I got a 5.
Ooh. Well, I'll send you a text. Be like, Merry Christmas.
But yeah. Yeah. Do we have any announcements this week?
Let me open up the old iTunes because, hey guys, big surprise. We wanted to start recording about an hour ago, and then we got on Big Talk. Let me just open up this iTunes thing just to make sure. No reviews, but that's okay. Like, it's a busy season. What is this button? But yeah. Nothing there. But hey, we have a new listener from Peru.
Welcome in. But yeah,
welcome in.
For Peru. Anybody that is not familiar, why we're double checking our reviews is because we would appreciate reviews, and we'd be sure to shout you out if you left a review for us. We know how to check them on iTunes. If you leave them on any of the other websites that Anchor pushes them out to, please let us know via like twitter.com/pointlessdisco so we can make sure that you know that we saw your review and you get the shout out. Also, since we stopped doing the live show, we thought maybe if we start getting like every 10 reviews, we'll plan a special live show for you guys of the podcast on Twitch so that you guys can hang out with us live as we share our opinions on everything.
I remember there is a few comments on the Twitter.
Ooh.
This one says it's probably super hard to guess who threw in the game with romance options. Never mind, I'm just reading our retweets.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, no, it's all good. I couldn't remember. But we're good there. And yeah. So, but yeah, like honestly, like for people who don't know, this will be like the quick like just pre-show things. Just if you guys enjoy it, this actually is what helps podcasts grow. And just helping it catch new eyes of just reading reviews and stuff like that. And yeah, it's actually one of those things that I remember hearing a whole bunch of other podcasts I listen to say that like actually does help. And just to repeat what Hop said, every 10 reviews we will schedule a live show that we can do again. And by live show we just mean on Twitch. So a digital live show.
Mm-hmm.
But
with future dreams of a live show whenever conventions can swing back into the norm.
Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, but since this is the episode after Christmas, guys, we hope that you had a good Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. I don't know when Kwanzaa actually falls.
Yeah, I forget on my calendar where it ends, but yes, whatever you celebrate, hope it was well.
Hope it was good.
And then hope that the new year, whether you're going for whatever you're going for towards the new year, hope that this year is better than 2020.
I hope that there is plenty dabs in chat for the coming in of the next year. Hey, you know what though? Real talk. 2020, yeah, there was a lot of bad things, but there's some good things that happened in 2020.
I was waiting for you to start listing things.
Oh, okay, yeah. The Pointless Discourse podcast.
We started in 2020.
We started in 2020.
It's been an interesting environment where I feel like
we started our regular co-streams in 2020.
Yeah, it's been. I feel like it's been taxing on a lot of people, but that people have been able to find, new interests, new hobbies, new outlets, which is interesting and cool. But there's still a lot to figure out before, I don't know, whatever normal becomes, and that we can settle into it.
I started watching anime again in 2020.
I started watching a little bit more anime. I binge watched a show for the first time in a while. I cried every episode, so it was a good one.
What was it?
Orange.
The fruit?
Yes, but also the name of the anime.
Oh. Low-hanging jokes.
Woohoo. No, it was Strider and I have a running joke where if like the name is said of whatever the media is, we'll just look at each other and go, they said the name of the blank. So anytime.
How many times?
Well, I only did it the first time because she asked for orange juice, and I was like, it's the name of the anime.
It reminds me of you ever seen Cinema Sins?
Uh-huh.
Like one of their things in there is like whenever someone says like the name of the movie, they just like, oh, roll credits.
Yeah, as we do it more for songs, I think. Like we're just listening to a song and then they say the line that's the name of the song. We're like, that's the name of the song.
It's a little bit more apparent in there. I guess it would get really rough if you do it for every single one if it's named after the main character. Like I'm looking at Akira right next to me, which like we're gonna be watching tomorrow. Well, not for you guys who are listening to this in the future, but in my Discord we're gonna be watching this tomorrow, and yeah, one of those guys are named Akira. I read it. It's been a while since I watched it. Right? Yeah. Hold on. No.
No. No, it's not one of the characters.
I forgot. Like as I said, I read it, but it was a while ago.
Yeah. No, it's I think it's what is it? There was something. Oh, we were watching The Boys, the Amazon show, and they never actually like really said the phrase as far as I could tell. And we got into season 2, we were like, when are they gonna? And they were like, we are the boys. We're like, ah, it only took 2 seasons.
Well, I guess Batman. Batman would be a good one where it's just like, oh, Batman. Oh, he said it.
No, it's more interesting if it's got the subtitles like The Dark Knight. I don't think they once say that he's the Dark Knight throughout the whole movie.
I think at the end they're like, there's the darkest night before the dawn when but it wasn't the technical
name.
Words.
Yeah. It's like close enough.
Yeah, good enough for me.
Anyway, so tangents aside.
Now there's going to be tons of tangents. If you didn't make it through 36 episodes and realize there's going to be tangents, or if this is your first one, welcome to Tangents.
It is pointless discourse, but they said the name of the podcast.
They said the name.
Ah, beautiful. All right, but yes, so we have this article in front of us. We can put the link in the description, so if you want to actually see it for yourself, 'cause it's easy enough to Google. I think it's the first thing that comes up when you look up things to do on New Year's.
I think so. That's how I found it.
Yeah. So what to you, DPayne, really came off to you is like, is it more so that you could do any of these with or without quarantine?
Yes. There was that, but then there's some on here that are just like, you can just do this whenever.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a few in here that I remember when I was just looking through it. I'm like, some of these, I'm like, you don't even need to do this on New Year's. Like, this is something that could be done, like, throughout. Like, like, not on the day, but be done throughout. Like, one of these on here, like, if you're just, like, kind of doing a quick scroll through, number 9 is just like, that's something that you have to do the whole year and stuff. It's just,
oh yeah, that's not a New Year's Day thing. That's you set it up and hope you commit to it over the next 12 months.
Exactly. So it was just one of these things where it's just like, it honestly would have felt like when I was reading through it, like maybe they put a little work writing these 2 paragraphs in the beginning. And for me, like, I know that these little underlined things are links to other stuff. But to me, red lines under a word means it's not spelled right.
Thank you, Microsoft Word.
For years of training. But actually, you know what? We could roll to find out who just shares the first one.
Okay, we can go back and forth just reading the title of them and then discuss them.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, I rolled a 5 again. My life is just the number 5. Oh, that's my Enneagram. Ah.
Man, I was hoping I could have rolled a 4 on this D4 just so I'm like, you win. But either way, you still won because I rolled a 1 on it. But here's my actual dice. Oh yeah, I rolled a 15. That's not my number on the Enneagram. It doesn't even go up to 15. That's a really good die. I need to remember that one. Okay, so I guess I will go first, and then you can share your New Year's things first when we get to it.
Okay, seems fair.
Yeah, so the first one is make a New Year's brunch. I'm not sure if we actually want to read the whole thing.
I don't think we have to read the whole
Yeah.
paragraph.
Like the first sentence is brunch is the best meal. And I'm like, why do I gotta wait for some specific time to have breakfast? I'll have breakfast whenever I want. So
Yeah, I have breakfast for dinner more often than not.
yeah.
More often than breakfast hours. I'll just eat breakfast.
Yeah, it really just depends. Like now that I do like the cooking streams and they're made to have dinner throughout the week, um, it's if that before that happened, I would just pretty much just eat eggs.
It's quick and it's tasty. It's
and
easy,
satisfying.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know. It's just this one. Okay, so this first one I don't have like the big issue with.
It's fine.
Like,
I think it's a nice way to like do something nice for the new year, to be like, oh, okay, this morning is the new day in the year. Let's do something pleasant. Let's eat foods that everybody likes.
yeah, and it also makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense because I don't know, like if you never stay up to 12 normally and it's like this is your one time out of the year that you stay up to 12, yeah, you might wake up a little bit later and just make some like your lunch breakfast.
Yeah.
Fun story that my mom would tell me all the time when she would make breakfast for dinner. She would specifically make breakfast for dinner when my dad was out of town or wouldn't be home for like in time for dinner or something, like he had like a dinner plan somewhere else, because the concept of eating breakfast for dinner was like the biggest sin. He's like, no, this is breakfast food, not dinner food.
I love breakfast food. I will eat it any time of day. I once made too much breakfast for dinner, brought the leftovers for work for lunch, and this guy, I heated it up in the microwave, and this guy was like, is that breakfast? I was like, yeah, I had leftovers from breakfast for dinner. And he's like, yeah, you did. Nice. Like, I've never met anyone that's been like, no breakfast for dinner.
Well, if you ever meet my dad,
then I will.
You will. So yeah, he is totally against it, and to my knowledge, our whole family is yes, except for him. Actually, I'm not sure because I know there's a few people that are very specific that are my brothers that are very specific in what gets eaten when and just other things. So there might be a few, but I don't live with them and they don't cook my food. So
no worries there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So then the next one is decorate for 2021. I don't think this, like, what, unless you're having a party, do people decorate for the new year?
I don't.
Yeah.
I also don't decorate for Christmas.
Like, I see in the image they provided a 2021 balloon, and it looks like in the paragraph they say that it's nice to do if you plan on taking pictures to, you know, for your social media for the new year. So I guess, I mean, it doesn't offend me, but it confuses me.
Yeah. In this time of where money seems to be a little bit tighter for most people, I'm not ready to go spend $8 on Pow Pow, whatever they're called.
Balloons.
They have a little link next to the thing. Hold on, if I click, oh, it takes me right to the Amazon thing. Oh, and Pow Pow's the brand. Interesting. Do they come with helium?
Oh, that's a good point.
Wow, New Year's Eve decorations are pretty inexpensive.
I can't.
You can get a whole golden curtain. What is this one here? I'm just gonna read this one real quick.
Like those, like they look like strips thingies.
Here, I'll send you what I'm looking at.
Oh, that's a link.
Yeah. So
you can get all of this for 30.
Yeah, for like $35.
It's pretty tacky to me, but okay.
Oh yeah, no, it's super garbage. But I'm surprised that you can get all of this.
It said, okay, so anyone that's curious, it's a New Year's Eve party supplies kit for 2021, complete with balloons, 89 pieces of black and gold graduation party decoration. Wait, that says graduation party decorations.
You're graduating the old year to the new one.
Oh, it's so I think this kit is. Wait. Why are you advertising it as New Year's? Or unless they copied and pasted it from like, do they also sell like grad party supplies? I mean, maybe,
You know what?
probably.
These are the colors for the high school that's right next to me, so they're double dipping.
Oh, but yeah, and then one of the pictures is like graduates. Anyway, sorry. Now I'm offended at this, but so it comes with 8 pieces of paper fans, 6 pieces of silver hanging swirls, 6 pieces of gold hanging swirls, 3 pieces of
Oh, there they are. Sorry, I
gold,
found the graduate picture.
yeah, gold felt fringe curtain. I guess these are tape. 40-inch 2021 gold foil balloons, 12 gold balloon, or 12-inch gold balloon. Oh, wait, why did I write it like
12-inch
this?
gold balloons.
But you get 10 of them. And
Yes, you get 10 12-inch gold balloons, 10 12-inch gold confetti balloons, 3 pieces of foil fringe curtain, and 8 paper fan decorations, 12 hanging swirls, and a partridge in a pear tree.
And then the last picture is how to inflate the balloons. Apparently, they come with automatic sealing.
Cool. I'm still looking at this graduate picture and zooming in on the faces. Like, there's this girl, she's like, yeah, and then this dude in the middle looks like he's doing a war cry, just like getting ready to like ash, and then the guy on the left looks like disguised toast when he shaved off all his hair, but very awkward.
The middle guy doesn't have legs.
Oh, maybe that's why he's yelling.
Wait, like you see it, right? Like the
Yes.
Photoshop
Oh,
that they.
I see it. I see it.
The guy on the left has legs. The girl on the right has leg.
One leg.
The guy, I don't see where he could possibly have legs. Wait.
Well, that's why he's yelling.
Oh wait, no, he has a foot. Right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. He's Rayman.
Anyway, sorry.
I think we're changing the podcast title right now. We're gonna create stories for all 3 of these people.
Yeah. Do we have to put the Amazon link? I mean, but we're not we're not gonna
No,
get any money for this.
They're not sponsoring us. I ain't helping them.
We don't. What's it called on Amazon? It's a it's just like a general thing where if people purchase something on your list, you get funds.
I forget what it's called.
Yeah. We are small time. We don't earn money from you guys. We're just here to have a good time and get confused at images.
We are indie.
Yeah.
We're in an indie podcast.
But yeah.
Hope to get picked up by the big studio at some point.
Feel free to move on to the next one, I guess.
Yeah. And also, I remembered why one of the things that I complained about when looking at this, where it's just like none of these things seem stuff to do. Like, this is proposed as quarantine New Year's Eve ideas, and all these things, most of them, except for maybe I can't remember off the top of my head, so I don't want to.
No, I don't think any of these mention quarantine at all.
Yeah, all these can be done outside quarantine, which is like I think why it was just copied and pasted from another.
Yeah,
year.
it'd be different if they do not once mention making a Zoom call, and that's how you know it's not about quarantine.
I think I read one of the articles, and I read this article, and I think in one of the other ones they mention digitally watching, but I will get to that because I remember which one it is.
Okay.
And there was something that I was like, wait, but we'll get there. Number 3 is make a scrapbook. I wouldn't want to do this outside a quarantine. Like, okay, here's their whole thing is like, yeah, 2020 was a year to remember. Commemorate I'm going to read this because this is the thing. Commemorate the past 12 months by putting together a scrapbook or photo album. It's a great way to get creative and look back on all the incredible memories you made. Which ones? The ones where we were stuck inside the house, or the ones we had to leave with the mask on?
Yeah, I don't feel like people took a lot of like.
Or that DoorDash order I did.
Yeah, like it's such a weird year to be like make a scrapbook of all your memories. It's like I don't know that a lot of people have adventures or anything that they really got a chance to go on or do that you would have hoped to have done.
Yeah, it well, like I can under. Okay, so I will give this a little bit of a leeway. Is say you are uh, a couple who I don't know, maybe like they got a kid or a dog, or wow,
That's
I just put a
true.
kid and a dog in the like same standard. But it's just like I can understand if there was a point in the year, like maybe in January, like if you did have a baby or you got like a new pet, or if it was something where like it started a
A life event,
relationship.
yeah.
Yeah, a life event that started because like in January to February, we like February I think there was whispers of what was coming down, but like it really didn't get full swing until in March. So like I can understand if it was stuff like that that was happening and you documented that, but it's just like for the mass majority of the people, it just like I don't know, like you guys want to know? Well, I can't fully speak for Hot because she has been posting pictures of bunnies,
Yes, I have.
and but it's just like, hey, you guys want to know what my cooking what my scrapbook would be? It would be me here sitting at this desk talking to a microphone for about 3/4 of it, and then the last quarter would be pictures of me at work, uh, cooking food and uh, going going to my church to fix their streaming programs.
Frustrated eyebrows. Mm.
Yeah, it would have just been like, woohoo. That would have been, there's my scrapbook. Well, then again, that probably could have been my scrapbook minus the mask and like in 2019. But anywho, yeah, the scrapbook. That I think that was one of the things that really set me off. Where it was just like, no, like, who's like, can you imagine it? Like, hey, here's me going to vote for in the 2020 election.
Yeah, like there was a lot of like news stuff that happened this year, but there's not a lot of
Yeah,
things that I think people would be willing to.
like a scrapbook of going to all the protests.
Yeah, like it's like
That would actually be a fun. That's called a Time article there.
yeah. Yeah, that would just be that'd be like a cool thing in history to have for yourself, but it doesn't like they're trying to sell a scrapbook like a usual scrapbook. Like we went on vacation, we went to a party, but we didn't do any of that this year. Or
Mm-hmm.
uh people that quarantined didn't do that this year.
Yeah, I still think one of the videos that cracks me up the most is it's like one of those guys that is like interviewing like people down the street, and this is back when like COVID was first starting, and he's just like, oh man, are you happy to have out here? And this girl like sounds like she has a frog on her throat, just like, oh yeah, I'm having a good time. And it's like, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I have COVID. And the guy's like, what? And it's just like she walks away, and he's just like, like bug-eyed. Like the whole concept of it, like it's just like the reaction to everything because like I don't know his face. Like I understand, I would have the same reaction, but it's just the fact that I'm seeing it through a screen that kind of made me laugh. But it was just like, but it was also at the same time like where nobody was taking it seriously except for a handful of people back in like the beginning of March.
Hmm.
And he was like, it was just the reaction, and then the girl just like sounds like a wizard, like like wobbling away. But yeah, but we can move on to 4.
Okay. All right. So 4 is get dressed up. Okay. I mean, I understand where because if you've been working from home and doing stuff like that, you want a chance to just dress up and feel like there's an event going on. But it's also that kind of thing like you could do that whatever.
Mm-hmm. I saw a tweet making its way around yesterday and like this past week where it's just like, man, after I understand why in the Roaring Twenties everyone was taking like just getting dressed up to go out after like the pandemic of 1918, I think it was,
Mm-hmm.
and just like it's just like yeah, I'm really understanding like just getting dressed up to go to the grocery store why that makes sense now, but
Yeah, it is interesting because like when you have to actually dress up and like do all that on a daily basis to go to like work, or if you have events that you have to attend that's part of your daily life, you're just like, oh man, I have to make so much time, I have to get ready for it. And now when you're like when I was working from home for like 8 months, I was just like, I feel like a slug. Like, I know it's that, like, oh, nice, no one has to see me, so I don't have to try. But then, like, you're sitting there, you're like, I don't try anymore. What am I?
Yeah, I'm so when I went to college, they had a dress code. This is when I went to the institute up in upstate New York. They had a very strict dress code where, like, for classes, you had to wear a suit. Not a suit, sorry. You could wear a suit, but like the least you had to wear was dress pants, dress shoes, and dress shirt with a tie.
Okay.
And like everyone's like, for the most part, everyone's like, oh my goodness, that sounds like so archaic. Why they have to do that? And it's like, no, I understand it because it was like you also had to be clean shaven and stuff because like they wanted you to have a standard, but then also, um, it was just teaching you, well, forcing you to be responsible and make sure you took care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I hated it because I was fat, and it was like whenever I would tuck in my shirt, I looked like I don't know, a watermelon with legs.
Oh.
But it was just like, oh, okay. I was like, this is why I don't tuck in shirts, but I also don't like wearing. But it's like from that time, I hate wearing ties. I hate wearing bow tie. I despise it. And the only time I wear a tie is when I have to be when I have to. Like I am legitimately forced to wear a tie. And I was like, fine. Which normally it's when I have to go to a wedding and I'm in the wedding party.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, for like I don't even want to get dressed up even when I go to a wedding. Like I'll wear dress clothes, like, but I'm not wearing a tie. I refuse to wear a tie. So, but that's the other thing. Like I don't feel comfortable in dress up clothes.
That's fair. Like that, it also does come down to your personal style. Like, don't tell me on New Year's to dress up if I don't like to dress up. Like,
Yeah.
I am willing to dress up for like things like weddings and that, but in my everyday life, would you catch me in a skirt or dress? Probably not. I think the only other time I've worn a skirt because I wanted to was either going to the beach because it's hot. You don't want to wear pants after getting out of the ocean, or
I don't
the
know. I
Renaissance
would
Fair.
probably still wear pants or shorts. Like
Well, like
I
shorts
don't,
is fine, but
I don't
I've
think I would get
seen
away with wearing a skirt in public.
I've seen people like get out of the ocean and put on jeans, and I'm like, ah, what is that?
That is the equivalent of 2020, but with dressing.
There's gonna be sand, and it's wet, and it's
Yeah, like it's like that Star Wars movie. It's sand, it's coarse, it's everywhere. It gets in all the crevasses or whatever it's called, and it's just like, ew,
oh
no.
no. I've also seen people wear jeans to the gym. Yeah.
I did that once, but it was just because this is when I first was attempting to go, and I didn't know like what was supposed to be. Like I don't know. I just didn't know what you were supposed to wear or go and do
I
anything.
mean, I understand not knowing what to wear or go, but this guy was going very hard in the elliptical and was using the elliptical correctly.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just hate wearing jeans in general as well.
that's fair. Jeans are not always the most comfortable.
Like I think I have found the most comfortable pair of jeans I've owned, but I only wear them to work.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I like corduroy pants. They look cool, and then they're like little speed bumps on your leg.
But all right, so then,
Also, if you look at them right, you can look like an ice cream cone.
but yeah, I think you're up next.
Oh yes. Um, what the dump? This goes along with number three. It says take some pics. Um, yeah, it's pretty much a combination of two and three to make five, which is take some pics. If you guys need a quick refresher, number two was decorate for 2021, where we looked at those graduation decorations, and then number three is make a scrapbook with all the pictures. This one is, make your own pictures, stand in front of a wall or light or blah blah. No.
Yeah, they're like make your own photo booth. I'm like, Then I have to just take it down? Like, eh.
Once again, I could see this working if you have a family.
Something
Like
cute, like you
the
might make as a card, or yeah.
yes. Like if you have like a nuclear family, well, it doesn't even have to be a nuclear family. That was just like the is
What
that
you
what they're
think
called?
of.
Well, that was the first thing that came into my head. It's just
Hmm.
like a family unit. Like where you need to find something to distract the kids because they're trained off of watching Franklin the Clown or whatever it's called.
That's horrifying. There's Franklin the Turtle.
That's what I was thinking of.
And then isn't there I think on Disney there's like a claymation circus where the girl was a clown?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't watch TV.
JoJo's Circus.
JoJo. Ooh,
Ooh.
Totoro.
I only remember that show because one time I fell asleep with the TV on, and I started to have a dream, and it was repeating, "Pretend you're like a flying head of cabbage," and I was like, What's And I opened my eyes, and the clown is like repeatedly saying that to the audience, and I was just like, off. Turn this off.
Oh man. Whenever I have dreams, nine times like I think 9 times out of the 10 dreams that I have, which I dream very, very rarely, they're like nightmares.
Oh no.
Like I don't have normal dreams, and then when it isn't a nightmare, like that is split up in half of like, oh man, this is gonna be like, did you do drugs before you went to bed, or I am very conscious of the fact that I live alone in my apartment and there's a feeling of dread.
Oh no.
Those are the ones that wake me up, and I'm like, someone in here with me?
Yeah, no, I don't usually have dreams either, but today I woke up really early because of a dream, and I think it was less so an actual dream, and I was coming like up to that lighter stage of the sleep cycle, and there was something going on outside, and it was like a rhythmic loud noise. So there was something happening in my imagination, and then when I woke up, I still heard the noise, and I was like, why do they gotta do street work? And then I rolled back over.
Yeah, did you get snow?
We got snow on Wednesday.
Yeah, mine was our snowstorm was all Wednesday. Like I still have snow out there.
Oh yeah, we do too.
I had to dig like so I went to go heat up my car and defrost the windows and take all the ice off, and then I went to go back up and then realized that my car just slid around, and so I'm like, well, I got to get to work, and so I dug out 2 little like canals of the snow.
I've done that before.
But I didn't have a snow shovel, so I had to use the ice scraper.
Oh no.
And I'm like, my hands are so cold. I just want my oatmeal that's in my car. But yeah, I made it to work. And then it was like, good. This gives me a good cover story for being late, and it wasn't the fact that I slept through my alarm.
Dun dun dun. But I got you. Okay. So yeah, the taking pictures one, it's fine. It's not terrible. It's just, I mean, I feel like you would do that if you had a Christmas party, or not New Year's Eve party anyway.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's quarantine. But
I don't go to New Year's Eve parties in general. I think I used to go to a lot, and then it's like, as I got older, I realized that I don't really enjoy parties.
Yeah, that's fair. I have a weird, like, I don't dislike parties, but I have a limit. I saw a description of something that you can be an extroverted introvert, and I think that's what I am, where I can be very personable, and then as soon as my battery runs out, I'm just like,
Yeah.
Get me out.
Yeah, it's like I understand what that is, and it's just I don't know. I think it's like an ambivert.
Well, there's an ambivert where you're kind of just like, you have things of both.
You're just confused.
But I think an extroverted introvert is that like they don't shut themselves away completely, but they do have the battery thing versus an ambivert, and I think that one's kind of, I forget which way. It's so confusing. Not everything's just two answers to anything.
Yeah, because I think technically like I fall into one of them, but it's just the Myers-Briggs is very much you only get the 2 choices. And it's like everything from there is like you're extremely introverted, which honestly all that means is how do you recharge? Like you can have very outgoing introverts. It's just how do you recharge your batteries for the most part. But yeah, it's just one of those things where I think I'm also just getting to the point, like the last couple years is where it's just like a lot of my friends are now married and a lot of them are popping out kids, and it's just like they want to talk about their kids, and then they'll be like, well, what do you do? I'm like, well, I stream on the internet. It's like, and that's what my life has been for the past couple of years, because it's like, oh no, it's just that's
just
like,
you.
yeah, I don't like going to bars, and I don't trust any internet dating site because I'm like, why are you talking to me?
Who is you? All right, but I found an article with 10 things, like I don't know if this is scientific or anything, but it says 10 signs that you're an extroverted introvert and why it's not necessarily an ambivert. So these do, I think, explain me pretty well. One, of course, we kind of already mentioned your energy levels closely tied to your environment. So it's like, people, other things. The second one I think really catches me. You find people to be both intriguing and exhausting. I do find people fascinating, but I don't want to talk to them all the time. Certain people and interactions drain you while others recharge you. You can be charming but also introspective and reflective. You feel rested, and when you finally feel rested and recharged, you do reach out to others to spend time with them. You need to warm up in social situations. It takes you less energy to say what's on your mind than to make small talk. You're selectively social. You have no interest in trying to prove yourself in a crowd of strangers. And lastly, you're often confused for an extrovert. The last one, I've had people on stream, they're like, what do you mean you're an introvert? Like, you're really good at, like, talking and connecting with people. I'm like, yeah, it's different on the internet.
Yeah,
it's so different.
What I tell people as well. The other thing is, it honestly just depends what role I am in. Like, if I am in charge of the event or the group, I am way more extroverted because it's like, this is my role. But if someone else is in charge, and I have to be really careful because like my natural alignment is to just like, okay, this is what we have to do. I'm going to, not intentionally, but can come off as steamrolling into a leadership position because it's like, it's just how I'm wired. And so if I'm not in charge, I am like, unless someone is royally screwing up, I will just generally just kind of chill in the back and be like, okay, yeah, just whatever. And just more observe everything. But if I'm in charge, it's just like, I'll be the loudest and like hypest person there.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, for me, when it comes to stuff like that, I tend to, if I plan events for things, I tend to I try to invite like groups of people so I know that I don't have to be the face of everything all the time, and then I end up doing the thing where I float between.
Oh yeah, I do.
Yeah,
like that's just good leadership. I do that as well. I do that as well. But it's like I also know that some people are okay with doing that, and then there's just other people that like just don't handle leadership well, even though it's like you are trained and like you know what you're supposed to do. So it's just like, I'll be like, okay, if you have any questions, you come to me, like that person. And it's just like, I will help you out. Like, I will make sure your brain engages to know what, so that we don't like, what? Just get stuck. But that's normally what I try to tell people is like, at least they're in charge and I'm just here to make sure things run smoothly.
Makes sense.
So, but yeah, taking pics are stupid.
You can do that whatever you want. You can gussy it up and make it look nice if it's something you think you'll share with family, to be like, hey, the kids are doing all right this year, or we got the puppy, look at these pictures of the New Year puppy. But
look at my buns. Rabbits, you fools, get that out of your head.
But so then the next one on this list is writing down your resolutions. And they try to say, like, since you're staying home this year, you have extra time to work on it. I'm like, Do you though? Like, what if you're just not into it? What if you don't like doing resolutions?
But from what I've been hearing from the news, 2021 are supposed to be out.
Well, I mean, the
I,
vaccines are
I know,
still.
I
Yeah,
know,
I was gonna say. I was like,
I
I
know.
don't
I'm
think.
joking.
I was thinking about the timeline. I was like, I think the earliest, based on the current estimates, the earliest that I could get vaccinated is the summer. The year's already halfway done.
It'll still be out.
Ah. But
Ah.
no, I struggle with resolutions. I write them, I follow them for like 2 months, and then like I change them again, and then I just stop.
I I don't do resolutions, but I wrote this on my Discord a little while ago, and the people are like, "Wow, that that mindset makes a lot more sense than a resolution." And it's like I try to come up with 2 to 3 goals for the year,
Hmm.
and it's like they don't necessarily have to start in January, but they just have to be done by the end of the year.
Okay.
So a really good one, which this is when I started in January, and it show if people come to my stream, it's one of the timed alerts, which is my goal is to make a YouTube video every year, every week,
Hmm.
and I have done that.
Nice.
And well, I still have 2 weeks left, so I could royally mess up right now. But there was that. Like, I'm just thinking because the YouTube has been something I've been wanting to do for like I don't not it wasn't something I always want to do, but it's where I started. And it's like it's something that I don't want to see go to the like to the side
Hmm.
and die. But it's just like now that I have done that, next I already have a goal that of what I want to do next year because I know this is a conversation. Hey guys, a little bit behind the curtain. Like Hop and I also talk about content a lot, and not just for the podcast. Like we just talk about different ideas. Sometimes it's on the TFT streams as well. But one of the things is like I don't mind the stream highlights, but they are not creatively fulfilling. And so my goal now, which I'm leaning towards, is trying to at least once a month make like some sort of different video,
Hmm.
which means probably the stream highlights will start to not be the forefront. So maybe I might do like a video every like 2 or 3 weeks of just stuff that I think was cool and put that together. But then I don't know. I don't want to give out too much information because I'm like I'm
You're
still
still
working out what I want it to be.
Yeah, still getting the plans and everything together. Yeah, I think you've probably noticed for me, I also stopped doing the highlight videos on the YouTube, but I did try and make things I like, but I'm just bad at keeping up with them.
Well, you just had that cyberpunk bullet journal thing.
I did.
I didn't watch it yet, but I saw the thumbnail. So I've also like just stopped watching YouTube videos.
I know. I used to be more up to it because fun fact for everybody that is ever curious about making content online, we're very open and transparent about what the process is like because it's never easy. It's a lot more work than you realize, and it's not always easy to figure out what you're doing and what you want to do. Like, I feel like I lucked out that I streamed on Mixer for so long that I could get rid of all those like road bumps and then actually make stuff that is more aligned with myself on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a social media platform, and I always forget that something like YouTube is because I never really interacted with YouTube in a social way when I first started watching YouTube. I would just like passively watch stuff,
Yeah, same here.
but to like it's still technically social, so you could reach out to people and like meet new people through comment sections, other videos, things like that. And I was trying to do that, and then I also stopped.
Yeah, it's honestly like when, um, and like I'll put Hop and I in the same boat for what I'm about to say because we both like whether it's on and off, we both do content in different areas. We both have our stream, we have the podcast, and then depending on the time and year and motivation, we have YouTube going on. But then there's also a little bit of Twitter, a little bit of Instagram, which
I'm
also
getting into
goes.
TikTok.
Yes, I'm not. Well, I'm getting, I'm sort of getting into TikTok, but not actually making TikToks. Wait, you're making TikToks?
I did start. Yeah, it's been about a week now.
I didn't know. Well, now I got to make a TikTok so that way I can support.
Aw, friendship.
Now I, yeah, now I got to find out
Not
what.
now.
Now I got to find out what TikTok is going to take off my phone. I would watch it on my computer, but the the computer doesn't have any volume options,
Which
so
is stupid.
it's just yelling at you or not. Um, but yeah, it's where was I going with this? But yeah, there's here's a little bit of advice. I'm gonna give a little bit of advice because I'm gonna look at. Okay, we're an hour in. We still have a few more. I think we're a little bit halfway through this. For anyone that wants to make content on the internet, you have to realize that there is more than just what people see live. There is a lot of behind the scenes stuff. We'll just use streaming as the context because that is what I believe that what Hop and I do the most out of everything.
Yeah, I think that's where we dedicate the most of our energy.
Um, where yes, you see what's going live, but there's also the behind the scenes where it's like not only trying to figure out like OBS updates and how to make things look good on stream and just what do you want to play. Like Hop and I, from what I understand, we are both like very transparent in what we're going to play next, and we like the community input. So if I remember correctly, for it's not Genshin Impact, the time travel to do
Steins Gate.
There we go, Steins Gate. Like I remember you had a Twitter poll for that, or you a poll somewhere. You had a poll. For
Yeah,
that, right?
so I wanted to, after the KFC stream, which I also didn't realize was all the way in July, because I made a joke that maybe I'll do that as a yearly thing and I'll get better costumes. But so after that, I kind of relearned my love of playing visual novel games and like doing goofy voices and just having fun with it. And I did a Twitter poll, and I essentially said, like, out of these visual novels, which one do you want me to see go through? And I put, yeah, and Steins Gate ended up winning that poll.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so it's like there's that, which like we're both very open of what we want to play next, but then there's the other side of it where there's the whole relationship side of it where you like, hey, you have to go and like keep relationships, string relationships with your friends to keep up with them. Just be like, hey, how you doing? Like, in all honesty, it's just like Hop and I, we don't watch each other's streams all that much because we're constantly talking on Discord about the podcast or just random things or just sharing goofy things. So like, it's like I feel like we don't like, even though like whether we want to or not, I'm not gonna put either one of us on the spot, but it's just like if we want to be in their stream, like we're constantly just communicating, so it's like we don't have to go, we like there's a lot less pressure for us to go and like see each other's streams while we can go see one of our other friends that we don't do content with regularly.
Yeah, we also overlap times a lot.
Yes, that is also true. Like, oh my goodness, that TikTok I sent you the other day or technically this morning. I'm going to kill you.
I have not watched Jujutsu Kaisen, but
I had no clue what it was.
Okay, yeah, that's the character from
okay.
there. I just recognize it because TikTok is very thirsty over that character. But I'm trying not to watch it because, like, while everyone's thirsting about it, I am 27 years old and I think those kids are in high school. So
are. I read the first episode and I couldn't get, like, I don't know. It was just, it's an interesting concept, but I think I'm getting, there's certain tropes that I'm getting tired of.
Is it too shonen?
Like, yeah.
That's fair.
And I'm like, I don't know. I'm realizing the things that I'm liking the most is the villain of the story, like the big bad, actually gets sent back in time to when he was a kid and just wants to like, I'm going to blow up this planet super hard because now I have all my super villain memories. And there's one I'm reading now called like the villain initialization, and it's like he's actually childhood friends with this indestructible superhero, but like he realizes like he's like a Saiyan, so every time like he gets close to death, his power awakens more and becomes invincible. And he's like not the main character, the superhero. And he's like, I need to kill him, but I need to make sure like tech gets up to a certain point. But because he's coming back and messing with the timeline, it's causing his childhood's friends' superpowers to awaken earlier. Then he's like, stop killing him. He's just like freaking out, and it's just like pretty much this one person goes like, I killed your friend. He's like, wait, did you really kill him? I need confirmation. Did you actually kill him? And then it's just like you hear like it's just like a rumble, and he's like, you idiot.
That is funny.
So it's like, I don't know, I'm enjoying stuff like that. It is also great because it's like, at least in that one, like there's your stereotypical like it, because they're all in high school, but it's like, oh man, this is supposed to be the crush for the main character, and he's like, I have no interest in you because you're an idiot, get out of my way. And they're just like, why don't you love me? And he's just like, I am like 200 years old. Like, because of reincarnation and all that stuff when he withheld his memories.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, there's a really creepy one. I stopped reading it, where it's like this guy, he makes reincarnation magic, and then he reincarnates 200 years later in like a child's body, and he still has all his memories of 200 years. And then there's like demons in this world, and he saves like this kid who's like the demon princess, who like finds his body and then just aged up so she looks like a mature woman at that point. And they're like, it's just like, she is hitting on this child who is mentally 200 years old, but I'm like, this is gross,
Uncomfortable.
I'm like, ugh. And then there was like a scene, and I'm like, yeah, I'm done. I'm like, I'm done with this. Y'all do you. I'm gonna go read something else now.
I had an interesting query for some of my friends. I forget what anime it was, but it was an isekai. But what they do is like the guy was a corporate guy, so like he's not old, but he's probably like 20s to 30s, I think.
I'm listening. I gotta turn the light on.
Yeah, go ahead. It's like 20s to 30s, and then he gets reincarnated into a teenage boy, and in another world, but then is like they're starting to hint at romance with another teenage girl. I'm like, but he's like technically mature enough to be.
No.
Yeah, like
Wait a second. What is this one called? This
I don't remember.
Is this? I don't know.
I
There's another one that's very similar to that.
Yeah, I couldn't keep up with all of the isekais because I felt like a lot of them came out all at once, and it wasn't really my genre.
There's a few that I like, but not. I like the ones where they get brought over. There's one that I really like. It's like this whole classroom gets brought over.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, there's two now thinking about, and like they, pretty much they all get their powers, and the goddess is like, okay, cool. But then this one guy gets the ability of sleep, poison, and paralyze.
Wow.
And she's like, you're trash. We got to get rid of you, because like he's an E class.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's like, pretty much has the whole classroom except for like a few people turn on him and banish him from like the training into this like dungeon. And then when he's in there, he finds out that his powers are just super OP. Like he is just able to power level while the rest of his classmates are just like brainwashed by this evil goddess pretty much. And they're like, he's like, I want to go destroy her. And then he finds out later that his powers have no effect on her. So it's like someone was saying that, but that's a fun one where it's like the person that brought him over is just kind of screws over the person. There's another one where this guy, it's like the same thing. They bring over the whole classroom, and like he's like, I know what's happening here. And so he jumps out the window. But when he does that, like everything still goes over. And so the classroom goes over, and he just gets stuck in infinite space. And he's just like, what's going on here? Like, and this old man, he's just like, yep, I did my job. Who are you? And he's like, I was part of this classroom. I jumped out of a window, and I'm here. And he's like, you're not supposed to do that. And then it's just like, he goes, and they're like, the old man who you find out is God like freaks out as he's like, "Whoa, I'm gonna get in trouble." And they're just like, um, here, and it's just like everyone there's like just this skill tree that everyone was able to pick like a skill off of, and so there's just like all these like garbage skills that are left over. And he's like, you you know what, I feel bad, you have them all. And so like he has all these like just garbage skills, and then he's like, okay, and from there he's able to just level up these skills that kind of make him like quite formidable.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like it's a lot of like passives, like passive
Okay.
skills, while people are like, one of the people has a skill like when he is like, when he kills somebody, he's able to like pull out their special ability and keep it as his own. So like he started killing the bullies who have like all these OP skills, and then like it's, I don't know, it's interesting, but it was just like at the same time, I don't know, it doesn't update enough. So, like there's good isekais out there, but it's just like when it's there's also a lot of copycat ones, which is like that dude, my grandfather's mage or something like that.
Okay, yeah, I didn't really watch that one. The ones that I do remember that I started to watch that I did like, and I'm just very bad at finishing things. I did like Overlord from what I was watching, and I also liked Konosuba, but Konosuba is more of a comedy than an isekai, but it's like
I'm trying to remember which
premise.
one that is.
It, like the dude goes into like a fantasy world, and everyone's like, my favorite character is Megumin. I think that was her name, but she's basically like if in D&D, if you had to worry about like your how much energy you had to cast, she put everything into the highest level spell but doesn't know anything else and passes out when she uses it.
I heard people talking about this.
Yeah.
And she just does explosion magic the whole time.
Yeah, but if she does it enough, she just faints because it's way out of her level. I guess it's like using all your mana at once on an ability and just being like, okay, I pass out. But no, yeah, that one I thought was funny. It's just, yeah, it's more of a comedy. And there was
I enjoyed that one where the guy comes back as a slime.
I like watched a little bit of it, but then I was like, I think I watched the first episode and that was it. I do know people that finished it.
I was reading it, and I don't know, there's a lot of things that I like about I was enjoying about it, like kind of where the story goes, but then I kind of just stopped. There, like, just as anything, there's going to be, of any genre that's popular, there's going to be good ones and ones that are different that are interesting, and then there's ones that are like,
Yeah, naturally. But yeah, so back to New Year's.
Yeah,
We've wandered quite a bit away, but who? So you went first, right? So this next one is you.
this one's
because it's odds.
oh yes, because I made fun of taking pictures. Number 7, play a game. Once again, you don't need to be in quarantine to play a game.
Also, why are they saying to buy Scattergories, Bingo, and Family Feud on Etsy?
That was the other thing. I'm like, go on Steam and buy like digital things. Heck, you can get code names and like that game where everyone's like, oh my goodness, that has the bigger blacker when we're not going to finish the rest of it. Cards Against Humanity. There we go.
Oh yeah.
Like you can get those on the internet.
There's free versions of Cards Against.
Yeah, I was about to say there's free versions. You can do the search yourself. But
yeah, you could get Jackbox off of Steam and just do that digitally.
Yeah, and it's just like, how old is this person where their first 3 family, hold on, I'm clicking this link. Family Feud on Etsy. This is dumb.
Oh, these are New Year's themed versions of the games.
Yes, they're New Year's themed, but it's still, you still gotta have people like
yeah, and they also, and then they just say there are plenty of games to play on Zoom, but then they just link all the Etsy physical products.
Just like, here, you know what this sounds like? Hey, you have an English class. English class, but it's here, make it fun, do a Mad Lib.
Yeah, it's the end of the year, we did everything we have to, here's a holiday crossword for extra credit.
So This person doesn't game. I'm looking at you now, lady. I scroll all the way up to the top to where your profile picture is. You don't game. I'm pointing at you with my mouse cursor. Okay, back down. What's this? Bring the best party activities, glittery decorations, and bubbly champagnes. That is the tagline to this article. Anyhow, I don't want to talk about this anymore. What's your next one?
The next one is mix a cocktail. Again, if you want to mix a cocktail, mix a cocktail.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there are ones that you'd probably drink more often in New Year's, and I think what people tend to like toast champagne or whatever once the ball drops, but it's still like, if you want a cocktail and you're at home and you have the supplies, do it.
Okay, so I just clicked the link to the cherry bomb fizz. Here it is. Ingredients: 1 cherry, half of, I don't know how to pronounce this, maraschino liquor, and sparkling wine. And then it says directions: drop cherry into the champagne flute. Number 2, top with the liquor and then sparkling wine. I don't think you needed a whole page article
for 3 things.
How to do that.
Yeah, it'd be different if they were like, here's a list of 5 quick and easy New Year's, and then they're all like those 3 steps.
I don't drink unless it's rum, but still I'm like, you know what? I'll probably just have LaCroix or green tea or water. Like, I don't know. I'll mix my own water. I'll get a soda stream.
Make your own sparkling water.
Yeah. Ooh.
Fancy.
But it's one of those things, like, if you got to do this over Zoom, it's just like, oh, look at my drink. Okay.
Tap your webcams. Cheers.
Yeah. I don't know. It's still, but also it's just like this. I know that like people have their bubbly for New Year's Eve, but it's still like people can mix a cocktail. I don't know. It just seems like there's other things that could have been in here for a quarantine New Year's idea. Anyway, you go ahead now.
Oh, I think this one's yours. Yeah.
I forgot. Yeah, I'm odd. Make a memory jar. This is the one that we were mentioning, that this is one that you have to do the whole year. This could go under write down your resolutions, because this is a resolution that you're going to remember your memories to write them down in a jar. And it even says in the next year, wait a second, on New Year's 2022. Oh yeah, that is the next one. Or the one after this one. So I hope she writes an article next year and this is on there. Open up your jar. See, This idea is so boring that Hop is yawning.
I mean, like,
You know what? Make it real interesting. You ever seen Memento? Tattoo your memories all over your body, and then next year you can just, like, I remember this one. Don't talk on the phone. I like that movie. That's a fun movie.
I didn't watch that movie, but yeah, no, I mean, like, the memory jar is almost kind of like the scrapbook, except you have to do it for the coming year. You have to, like, prepare yourself, like, write down in your calendars, oh, today's the day I have to put a memory in my memory jar.
Have your phone alert. Also, this is a very small jar.
I mean, it's only, was it oh, just every time something happens? Yeah, that's a small jar.
This person doesn't make a lot of memories.
I mean, with us being at home, today I ordered some really good DoorDash.
I had to do that because I forgot to go to the grocery store.
Yeah, I might go to the grocery store after we finish recording. But I'm hungry, so that's dangerous. I need to eat something first.
Yeah. I'll worry about that later. It depends. Do I want to put on pants to go out to grocery shop?
That is the worst thing to have to do, isn't it?
Yeah, when I can just be like, hey, here's money, bring food to me.
Yeah, so the next one is make a festive dinner. What is New Year's dinner?
Breakfast.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I don't think I've ever had a New Year's dinner. Like, I've been to New Year's parties, and we just have party food. Like, I don't know what a New Year's dinner would be.
I'm thinking of like New Year's Day and not so much New Year's Eve, because yeah,
Mm-hmm.
New Year's Eve party, like yeah, it's just like taquitos, pizza bites, and just
Whatever you can make a
mozzarella
lot of,
sticks,
yeah.
a cheese dip. Um, but like if I remember correctly, my mom, like she would, mainly because my dad would get like 32 like hams for Christmas from different people,
Mm.
and like the joys of owning a business, and like some of them he would give away, but then like I remember like one of them, like they would, like my mom would cook and prepare for for us to have that on New Year's Eve, or not New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. So like I can understand having like, I don't know, I could understand having a festive dinner once again with your family the day like of Thanksgiving, not Christmas, New Year's Day.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like New Year's Eve is that day you're like, hey, I'm gonna have that thing where I'm gonna say, hey, I'm gonna eat real good and get real swole, but I'm gonna eat all this junk food the day before, stay up real late, goes right to my hips.
Right to the hips. All right. Yeah. So then I think you're the next one as well.
Yep. Number 11, watch a movie.
Okay.
Next one.
Bake a delicious dessert. Okay.
Yeah. What is a, like, if you could make a dessert, what would that would encompass the feeling of New Year's Eve? What would it be?
um, I had like I don't out of all the holidays, I have things that come to mind to me. New Year's Eve is just not one that I think of food.
Exactly, because it's junk food, pizza bites, taquitos, and
Because
cheese
it's
dips.
yeah, like for Valentine's Day, it's like chocolates and anything pink or heart shaped. For um, there's no other food holiday between that and Thanksgiving for me. Or well, 4th of July is
Yeah,
a
Fourth
lot
of July.
of
Yeah,
like when I think of 4th of July, I think of like berries because everyone makes desserts that are like red, white, and blue. So then you get strawberries, blueberries, and all that
white
stuff.
berries.
Cream cheese. Um, yeah. So then there's those, and then yeah, and then like Thanksgiving, I can name so many Thanksgiving foods.
We did a
Christmas.
whole podcast on it.
Yeah, we did. Christmas, we talked about candy canes, but yeah, there's other
Yeah.
Christmassy things. I guess like the only desserts I can think of is anything that gives me like it's like warm and cozy. But we also live in the Northeast, so this time of year is just cold and snowy or
Are you
rainy.
doxing me?
The whole Northeast, come find us. Wait, don't.
I dare you. Start in Maine and never leave.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, do you have anything in your mind of what a New Year's Eve dessert would be or New Year's Day?
No. But no, wait. You know what would be? I guess it's also because I'm looking at this picture and it's making me think of it. Do you know what pizzelles are?
Oh yeah, the like thin like I guess it's a cookie.
Yeah, it's an Italian thing. My mom is Italian, and so like, and which one of the things that really annoyed me is that like for Christmas or her birthday, she got a pizzelle maker.
Ooh.
Um, and for people who don't know, like my mom, she passed away a couple years ago, and so when we were all moving out, um, like we were kind of passing out like all the different things that we think we would use, and I was like, I remember mom had the pizzelle maker. Where is it? Because I know none of you losers are going to actually use it. I will. And like everyone's like, I don't know. Like I don't know where to win. And it was just like there was like a few like baking things that I was like, I know I will legitimately use this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like the cookie press. I will use the cookie press. But no, like no one knew where that was. No one knew where the pizzelle maker was.
They all just disappeared.
They just disappeared, and I was like, okay, which one of these people came in and took it? Like I know it wasn't any of the brothers or my dad, because my dad couldn't even like make a hot dog. So
I guess I could see that kind of being New Year's Eve, but I also just like I can eat so many of those without thinking.
oh yeah, same here. They're great. I also was thinking of a crepe, or
Crepe.
crepe. I don't know. My friends always make fun of me because IHOP was having a special on crepes, and so we were going in there and getting some. But I pretty much did the same thing, where I didn't know how to pronounce it, except I said a crap, and the waitress was like, "Yeah, okay," and I'm like, then we're all like, "Wait a second."
She's heard that before.
So it was still good. Saw a video when someone made one of them and they rolled it up so it looked like an ice cream cone. And it had just fruit and, well, it wasn't cheese, but it looked like whatever stuff in there that looked good. Anywho, yeah. Now I'm hungry.
It's the same. But all right, and then I think this one is yours.
Yep, this is me. Yep, make toast. So get out that the toaster, put some bread in there.
Wait a
some
second.
avocado, and spread it all. I never had avocado toast, but
I have.
I thought about making it for a cooking stream as a joke, but I don't know. I haven't. So, but no, guys, the real title is Make a Toast. So just one piece of bread and put that in the toast. No, it's just. Oh, wait, no, that's christening a ship when you just take the bottle of wine and smash it against it.
We're christening the new year like a boat.
Yeah, for the landlord, when they come up, you just hit them with a bottle of wine. It's the new year. I need a new place to stay.
Yeah, but no, it's the same old, like, you would do this probably any New Year's, quarantine or not.
Yeah, they just want to look like DiCaprio in that firework picture, and he's just holding out the wine glass like, "This is to you, loser."
Oh, Great Gatsby? That movie?
Yeah.
I didn't watch the movie. I didn't like the book.
I never read the book either.
Oh, I read the book for school.
Yeah. Well, do you remember what grade that was for? Because then I could try to think of one of the books I read for that grade.
It would have been sometime in high school.
I don't remember what I read
in high
school.
I think in high school I read Great Gatsby, Dante's Inferno, Shakespeare plays. Yeah, I like it all kind of like melts together until like I read these. Oh, and like Lord of the Flies.
Isn't that the one with the kids?
Yeah, the kids and the island.
Man.
Yeah. All right. The next one.
The only thing I remember reading when I was younger is Pony Boy shooting somebody or whatever.
Oh, I didn't read that. Oh, I did read Catcher in the Rye, not for school, but because someone told me to.
Is that the one where the dog has rabies?
No, that's Old Yeller.
No, that's Mockingbird.
Oh.
That's Mockingbird.
Wait, To Kill a Mockingbird, the dog has rabies?
There's a dog that has rabies.
I was going to say, that's not the main plot point.
It's not the main plot point, but that's the first thing that comes to mind.
But Old Yeller was the main plot point, right?
I don't know. I never read that.
I just remember
the red fern grows, but
there's no rabies in that one.
There's no rabies, just cold dogs.
And sad.
Yep. If you guys want to know what that is, just go back to whatever. It's the first episode, which is the one that we.
No, second episode.
Childhood books?
Yeah, it wasn't the first one movies?
Hold on. Yes. The second one. No, the second one was video games.
Third one?
Fifth one.
Wow. We're losing our memories.
No, that's cartoons.
DPayne, what do you do?
Oh, I found it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The seventh episode.
Well, okay. The 7 kind of looks like a 1, right?
They're not numbered on my desktop. I have them all just sitting on my desktop right here.
In order. But all right, yeah. The next thing on this list is make some noise. Yay! Buy noisemakers from their affiliate link, I guess.
Yeah.
Yay!
Bang on pots and pans. So they're unusable, so you have to boost the economy by buying more for next year.
And then your neighbors in apartments will not want to be around you.
They don't want to be around me anyway.
Hey!
Because I stream and make noise.
I guess it's a New Year's thing. I mean, like, I guess, yeah, people cheer when it hits midnight, but...
It just depends. Like, I remember what happened when it was, like... I remember the change where... the majority of the people would go make pots and pans and noises and all that stuff. and then it turned into smooches.
Ah,
Because it's like,
yes.
here's
The
my New
first
Year's
kiss.
kiss,
Yeah.
which I never took a part of, and then I just got too lazy to run out and make noise. So I would just sit on the couch and be like, is this done yet?
Is this over?
I go home. I'm allergic to your cat. So yeah, so make some noise. And yeah, the last one here is watch the ball drop. Once again, okay, so this is the one that like I was like, really? So to encourage us, I'm gonna read just the first sentence in this. Um, it says to encourage social distancing. First time I believe it was said in this whole article, except for maybe the 2 paragraphs. The Times Square ball drop will go virtual this year. Here's where I have an issue, because technically anyone who is not there in person watches this dumb thing virtually, whether it's on your TV or computer. Like, I remember when, I think it was 2 years ago, because I got copyright striked against it.
Oh.
I brought up the New Year's ball drop while I played Super Smash Brothers or Ultimate. It was just like, oh, it's almost 12. I brought up the ball and we watched it drop. I'm like, cool. And then like as it would go to people smooching and singing, I would move my webcam and it made it look like I was flying around New York Square. And then I posted up on YouTube, and then I don't know, someone copyrighted striked me, and I'm like, whatever. Well, they didn't strike me. They're like, we're just gonna run ads on this. How dare you? I'm like, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah. Have the money.
Yeah. I don't do this. I don't put up the videos for the YouTube for money.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is, every time I look at this ball, all I see are Triforces.
Yeah, it's not very round.
Yeah.
It's very lots of triangles on triangles to make it look round. But yeah, no, like, yeah, like I've never watched the ball drop in person because I have no desire to stand outside in New York City for hours.
I thought it would be fun if I had the money and had the friends that would want to do this, is to rent out one of the apartments for that day that is right there, and then just spend New Year's Eve in there, where we can have we'll just stock up the fridge, we can watch the ball drop and watch all the people just
do the things.
Yeah, do the things. But then it's just like, we have this big old apartment thing. Like, I know it would be expensive, and I heard a lot of people do what I suggest, and so for it to happen, you would have to rent with it
way
a
ahead.
couple of years.
Yeah.
But I thought that would be real fun to do, because then it's okay, now I'm not stuck in a mob full of people, and if I have to go to the bathroom, I don't have to do it there or lose my spot.
Yeah. That is a comfortable way to be able to see it in person and on your own terms instead of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that doesn't sound terrible. Every time I just watch it live on TV growing up, everyone was just shivering, going, "Yeah, I'm so excited." I'm like, "Oh." Yeah. Especially if the weather's bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then it's great, I gotta watch this lady, okay, chat, that's pretty much what she's saying. It's okay, everyone vote. Am I gonna go make out with the fireman or the serviceman or the whatever? And you're like, I don't care. Mm-hmm. I don't even know who you are.
But yeah, this article, it's just, I don't know,
it could fit in with any other year.
Yeah, that's the problem with a lot of it. The things that you would do on New Year's, they're fine. They might not be to our taste, but don't advertise it's specifically for quarantine when you don't really address anything that you would do differently. Mm-hmm. Other than saying to us, you're at home now, so it's that doesn't really give me a new option of something to do for New Year's Eve.
I think I've always been at a home.
Somebody's home.
Yeah, and then I would leave and watch YouTube.
Perfect way to bring in the new year. But yeah, I didn't realize. I was just gonna say, I didn't realize that this would give us so much content. I don't know that we can get into the second half.
let's do it real quick.
Okay, just drop it real
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah, it's not so guys, we figured it would have been fair to at least give our own kind of things to share. Two of these actually two out of my three I could talk about real quick.
Okay.
Um and the last one I don't know. I think you as well would not dismiss this as the one of my ideas as a terrible idea as well. You don't normally dismiss my ideas as terrible ideas, but many do, and I say, well, you just fill the fuel for me to go do it. But anyway, do you want to just run through your list real quick, and then I'll just run through mine?
So like mine wasn't like too much of a list. Essentially, all I was gonna say was I think the best thing to do on New Year's Eve, wherever you are in the world. I know there's a lot of traditions about eating food, and yes, do it. Have an excuse to eat the food. I think
Excuse to eat food.
yeah, I don't think I followed this, but one website I found said that in the Philippines you eat 12 round fruits because I do know this that like you round things are kind of like representative of coins, which is I don't remember if there are like a lot of the currency. There's more coins than bills if I remember correctly in the like Filipino currency, and then so you eat 12 round fruits to symbolize it. So you just eat like melon and grapes and apples, which is nice. And
Sounds
then
healthy.
yeah, and it's healthy. And then other countries just have like other like they either have special goods that they make or you eat certain foods or you eat certain dishes to bring in good luck, fortune for the new year. I'm just like, yeah, do it. Just eat. Bring that good luck.
You can 7 round 12. Wait, how many round things?
12. One for each
12?
month.
12 pizzas.
My 12 whole pizzas. Let's go.
Yeah, just from the right angle, they're round.
And the other thing I was just going to mention is like sorry to like bring up Filipino things again. I just thought it was
No, it's
interesting.
all good. It is you.
Yeah, I newsflash. I'm Filipino.
She's also hop.
Yeah, I realized because if you just listen to audio format, you may not know. Yeah, the other tradition that I thought was always fun as a kid, but I don't do it as an adult because I am so lazy. My mom taught me a tradition where basically once it's midnight and the new year, you run around the house, open up all the windows and doors, turn on all the lights. Like you do that. It's a whole spectacle of everyone running around and doing that so that you let out all the bads, like anything negative from the old year and encourage new things to come into your home and your family's life for the new year.
So you've never done that?
No, I've done it. Like growing up, I've
You-
done it.
But not since you left.
Oh, don't.
We're gonna blame 2020
on
you.
me. Well,
well, no, you're actually doing the best good because this is this is all the Filipino stuff culminating over the years. They're to blame now.
wow. But yeah, no.
I joke.
I that was always fun for me as a kid, but it's lots of running and lots of like that. And I think it's interesting because doing it in the States, it's so cold, so you open up all the doors and windows and go, yay, and then you go, all right, the heat's escaping, gotta close all the doors and windows.
It's like I hope you all got out quick. Okay. That's a fun one.
Yeah, it's just especially when you're a kid and your family's like, all right, everybody, 3, 2, 1, go, it's midnight.
Yeah.
It's like an Easter egg hunt, but you're not looking for anything.
You're just hoping you remember where the doors and windows are. Yeah, I don't know. Like I don't know. I'm just thinking like as a kid that'd be fun, especially if like I don't know how your parents were, but like if they were a little bit strict about like running in the house and all that, and it's like this is the one time.
Let's go all out.
And it's like it'd also be the one time like oh yeah I'm in my parents' room because I'm not allowed in here. Open up all the doors and windows. But yeah, that's a fun one. What I wrote down was I created my own ideas, where I just thought it would be fun to do. I'll say the two real quick ones, and then I'll share the one that I think would be really fun to do, and I want to attempt at some point in the future.
Okay.
So the first one was create your own ball dropping. So like I don't know, I don't even know you do. Just like look around things around your house, make a ball, and just be like 3, 2, 1, Happy New Year, and just drop it. Just like cool. I don't know. Like I'm looking around my house now. It's a lot of it's a lot of digital equipment and books to play uh tabletop games with. So I don't know. My neighbors might not like me. The second one that I have here is the on New Year's Eve. You dedicate a time to play a certain video game.
Hmm.
That video game is called Sonic 06 to remember, you know what? It could have been worse.
I know that was your charity thing, right?
Yep, there's a reason why I haven't done the other 3 stories in that game. Oh boy. It's actually sitting right next to me, underneath a pile of controllers and bills.
Staring back at you.
No, it's covered unless I. Yep, there he is. And then the last one, which the other 2 were jokes. This one, I wrote down as a joke. I'm like, you know what? I actually like this. You make a D&D campaign or Pathfinder or whatever system you want, but you tell your players you have until the time flicks over into 2021, and if you don't do that, you failed the mission and the world is done.
That is fun.
And so it's like, I don't know, it would have to be a little bit of a longer game, I feel like, just to I don't know, but it's just like a big long session where it's just like, here's what you have to do, and we're gonna start, here's your mission, but you have to, the world ends in
that playtime. Yeah,
it's in real time. And so, and it could be something the more I thought about it, it's just, it might be something where it's you're in a sandbox when you can either trigger the boss encounter yourself, or when there's 45 minutes left, or an hour, depending on how many people are playing, because combat can take a while.
Oh yeah.
It's the final hour, we'll just say hour for now, the boss will descend on the sandbox, and it's you can do things to either weaken the boss or get gear to make you stronger, or stuff, as you go around talking to different people, and facing different things. Probably not a lot of combat. I think all the combat would have to be saved for the end, but it's just okay, once it's 11 o'clock, that boss shows up, and you have an hour to get to him and beat him or her.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't, the world is done, or you're done, or this pocket of whatever it is. I don't know. It was just it was something I wrote down real quick. I'm like, this sounds a lot of fun. I wouldn't mind doing that.
I mean, you have a couple weeks, thanks to our recording session of this. You could probably make it happen, as long as you the hardest part actually is honestly gathering people that are willing to sit for an extended session.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the hardest part.
Yeah. Well, and then it's also the one of the things where I'm I don't know. I don't know what all my friends are doing, but it's just I don't know. I think that'd be a fun thing to stream.
True.
That might be something I try to do in 2021 to 22.
When you have plenty of time, months in advance, to be all right, guys.
Some may say a whole year.
Whoa. No, I just mean
yeah.
You probably wouldn't even remind people until, because I can imagine, I have the problem where if someone's hey, next year you're gonna do something, I'm yeah, and then it gets to the point next year we still gonna do the thing? I'm what?
Yeah. That's why every couple of months I bring up, or months, weeks, it's probably weeks, it's probably once a month, I bring up, hey, remember that idea that we had about doing Legacy, Betrayal, and House on the Hill, and doing a session once a month? Yeah. By the way, this is also that reminder of how we mentioned it a month ago.
Our month anniversary of reminding each other of plans.
Yeah. So, but no, that was one I was yeah, I like that, and I think I want to attempt to make that happen. So we'll see.
Shall see. But yeah. Anything else you wanted to mention for the New Year's, or did you want to start wrapping up the episode?
Everyone remember, It's 21, not 20 at the end of when you sign your checks.
Good reminder. I remember being in school and I would for 3 months have the wrong year.
Yeah, I was gonna say school assignments, but then I just remember analytics and our big grouping of ages is close to our age group, and I'm like, I don't think you're in school anymore.
Yeah.
And if you are, I hope it's a job and not attending. In our age group, there are people that fit in the age group of school, and yeah, you go do it.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're going back to further educate yourself, you do it, because I am not wired that way.
Yeah, I did it. I finished it. Do I use it right now? Sometimes. It helped at work with a little bit, but not enough for it to, it's always a balance of things. But no, if you like doing education, go for it. Maybe that's your 2021 goals.
Ain't mine.
But yeah. No, yeah. Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of Pointless Discourse. Again, like we mentioned before, we would always appreciate it with reviews. For every 10, we'll make sure to plan out a live stream of the podcast episode so you guys can hang out in the audience and join us in on it. If you review on anything other than iTunes, let us know on twitter.com/pointlessdisco, or if you just want to follow news and updates with the podcast, twitter.com/pointlessdisco is where you could find us. And yeah.
And guys, we just want to say, when we started this podcast back in May, we never expected it to get to the point that we are now, and we're just thankful for it, and we're looking forward to whatever crazy shenanigans one of us thinks of up in 2021.
Yes. But yeah. Hope that you... Again, hope for good holidays and for more good holidays for you.
Yes, eat plenty of cheese. I want cheese.
Cheese is good.
Mm-hmm. Bye. Bye. See you next year. Well, not you, Hop. I'll see you in I don't know, a little bit, I guess.
I guess.
Later this week.
Until next year.
Yeah. Till next year, except for you. Bye-bye.